Every mother wishes that her child stays as safe as possible, that her child laughs, plays, and blossoms every single day. And to complete that dream, every Indian household placed blind faith in one name, Johnson & Johnson baby powder. For years, for generations. After a baby's bath, a soft layer of that powder was applied all over the body, sometimes for the fragrance, sometimes to prevent sweat, and sometimes simply because everyone else was doing it. But have you ever wondered, the very thing you considered a sign of love and care, could it actually have been a slow poison for your child? That daily touch, that lingering fragrance every night, was it in fact an overlooked step towards death?
I applied Johnson's powder on my daughter every day. It helped her sleep well. But when she started getting frequent fevers and trouble breathing, what the doctor told me changed my life forever.
Today, we are going to tell the story of a cosmetic product that was not just a powder. It had become an emotion born out of trust. But the same trust put millions of lives at risk. Johnson & Johnson was founded in 1886. Baby powder entered the market in 1893. In India, since the 1950s, it has been one of the most widely used baby products. The year was 2018. The place, a courtroom in the United States. And standing in the dock was the world's most famous baby product company, Johnson & Johnson. But this time the accusation was no small consumer claim. It was betrayal against humanity itself. More than 33,000 women claimed, "We used Jan-DJ talcum powder for years, and now we have ovarian cancer." The common link in all these cases, every single one had used Johnson's baby powder or talcum powder for years. These women alleged the powder contained asbestos, which gave them cancer.
I trusted this company. I even applied the same powder to my children. And now, I'm fighting for my life.
Asbestos, a substance once used in building roofs because it was cheap and heat-resistant. But later, science revealed it causes cancer, especially in the lungs and reproductive organs. An investigative report revealed Johnson & Johnson knew as early as 1971 that their talc contained asbestos. But they hid this information from the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, and the public. After years of hearings and testimonies, in 2023, Johnson & Johnson offered a $8.9 billion settlement to resolve these claims, the largest personal health scandal in history. While the product was being removed from shelves in the USA, it was still being sold in India, without any warnings. Innocent children, unaware parents, and a multinational company unwilling to learn from other countries' mistakes. This is not just the story of a product. It is the story of trust broken. The company we blindly trusted today stands accused in court. In America, there was outrage. 33,000 plus women had gone to court. Jan-DJ had been fined $8.9 billion, and the powder's sale had stopped. But the question is, what happened in India? What did the Indian government do? Was the powder not harming people here? When Johnson & Johnson removed their talc powder from the US and Canadian markets, at the same time in India, the same powder was being sold openly. No warning, no side effect label, not even a TV debate. Why? Is the Indian consumer treated like an animal, expected to accept everything without question? In 2022, Maharashtra FDA conducted a sample test. The result was shocking. Johnson's baby powder failed the pH level and quality parameter tests. The FDA sent the company a notice to stop sales, but Johnson & Johnson immediately appealed, claiming their powder was completely safe. What happened next? Most people didn't even notice. In a quiet press release, Jan-DJ stated, "We are discontinuing talc-based baby powder sales in some countries, including India, from 2023. No apology, no acceptance of fault, no accountability." Think about it. The powder you applied to your newborn, the one that was part of your home's identity, was facing lawsuits worldwide. And you were never told? Was there any health survey in India? Did any medical board investigate? Was there any discussion in Parliament? Nothing happened. Because big brands like Jan-DJ enjoy free reign in India. Where the US, Canada, and Europe enforce strict rules, India simply looks the other way.
I applied that powder on my son every single day. When the doctor said his skin had internal inflammation and he was struggling to breathe, that's when I realized The protection I trusted was actually poison.
Because there is no data, no tracking, no lawsuits. This is not just the story of a product. It is the story of a system's silence. Johnson & Johnson removed the powder from India to save itself. But the question is, will we ever know how much damage it caused to our children? What you see is not always the truth. Johnson & Johnson baby powder, soft to touch, sweet to smell. But hiding inside was asbestos, a deadly poison. Talc is a natural mineral used to keep skin soft and dry. But when talc is contaminated with asbestos, it becomes a cancer-causing substance. Asbestos enters the body through air and slowly settles in the lungs. That's why many countries have banned asbestos. It causes ovarian cancer, lung cancer, and mesothelioma. In 1971, an internal Jan-DJ lab report found asbestos in their powder. In 1985, an internal meeting concluded, if we put the truth on the label, no mother will touch her child with it. The company knew everything, but they put profits above people's lives. Continuous use of talc powder increases the risk of ovarian cancer by 30%. Talc microparticles can reach reproductive organs. Experts warned the baby powder you think is harmless may actually be dangerous. A 2018 Reuters investigation revealed Jan-DJ hid the presence of asbestos from the FDA and kept the public in the dark. A brand parents once trusted blindly now faces global scrutiny. The powder that was once applied after every bath now stands as an accused in court.
Was that scent of innocence actually the smell of cancer? Can J&J ever be forgiven?
This was no longer just a company's story. It had become a mother's battle.
I saw the TV ad. No more tears. Even the hospital doctor handed me the same bottle. I trusted them blindly, but my son kept coughing, gasping for breath. Later, doctors said there was infection in his lungs, possibly from airborne particulate matter. That's when I realized the powder I applied daily was entering his lungs as poison.
The mother decided, this fight is mine now. She filed RTIs, lodged complaints with the health department, requested reports from the FDA, and went to the media. Slowly, her voice became a movement. Thousands of mothers joined in. On Twitter, hashtags trended. #BanTalkIndia, #boycott toxic brands, #mothers. Vast J&J protests erupted in Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad. People stood outside J&J stores with black banners. From a single mother's voice, an entire nation shook. The FDA restarted testing. Some states temporarily banned sales, and J&J was forced to give another statement. Our product is safe, but we will stop selling talc powder in India from 2023. The question isn't that you removed the powder. The question is, why did you hide the truth for so many years?
Was my child a guinea pig? The mother's scream became the cry of an entire nation.
A mother's courage, a brand's downfall, and a cruel game played with millions of innocent lives. Johnson & Johnson's powder may have left the shelves, but its shadow still lingers in people's minds. Johnson & Johnson, once synonymous with a mother's trust, now a symbol of lies and greed. Reuters reports and internal emails showed what the world was never told. Since 1971, the company knew their powder contained asbestos. In 1985, internal meetings decided telling the public would kill the brand. The company spent millions on lobbying and media management to keep the news from spreading. They bought scientists, suppressed research papers, and pressured WHO and the FDA. Meanwhile, in millions of homes, the powder was applied daily. Mothers thought the fragrance was innocence, while cancer was silently growing inside. $8.9 billion settlement, 33,000 women's complaints. Jan-DJ never admitted guilt, only paid compensation, and stayed silent. Once, Johnson & Johnson was called the most trusted brand. Today, millions fear trusting any of their products, because they proved profit is bigger than human life. Is our silence our defeat? When big companies knowingly sell us poison, will we trust only the faces we see in ads? Or will we ask questions, read the documents, and raise our voices if necessary? Johnson & Johnson's powder is gone, but this story leaves us with one lesson. No matter how big the brand, if it lies, it will fall. And under that falling brand, Our hopes are crushed, our trust is shattered, and sometimes, even our next generation. If you found this video informative and eye-opening, please like it, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe for more true stories like this, because next time, the killer of your trust, we might be the ones to expose it.